the Atlanta Falcons have decided to bench their 180 million man Kirk Cousins, and the rookie Mr. Michael Penix will be the starting quarterback this weekend in their matchup for the Atlanta Falcons, man. So with that being said, man, what are your guys' thoughts with Kirk Cousins getting benched for the rookie?
That's your man. That's your. I'm gonna let you go first because that's your man.
Well, that was not ever my man. Just I like the Atlanta fit, and I thought they'd win that division, but I didn't like Kirk Cousins. I mean that much, but I did like him going into this year, and I think this is the wrong move. Okay, the reason is because I don't like the timing of it. If they benched him maybe 3 weeks ago, then fine. But and he does deserve to be benched. I agree with that he deserves to be benched, but I don't like the timing of it because look, we're 3 games away from the playoffs, and they're 1 game away from the division lead. And I want to say Atlanta finishes off the season with Tampa. I could be wrong, but
Carolina.
Carolina. Okay, regardless, um, Atlanta is 1 game back. Look, they've struggled lately, but they win yesterday. It was ugly, but they won. I just don't like the timing because you're 1 game back and there's 3 games to go, and you're going to put in Michael Penix, who I actually liked coming out the draft. So I don't have an issue with Penix. I have an issue with the timing. He's not going to go crazy in these 3 games. Um, you as a rookie, you need some time to get ready and actually need play experience. And he doesn't have the play experience here at all in the NFL. This is going to be his first game. He didn't even play much of the preseason. I remember they benched him in the preseason. I don't know why, but regardless, I think you need to give him 8, 9 games before going into the playoffs, not 3. And that's if they make the playoffs.
Right.
So why give him just 3 games? And then even if you make it, then what? He's in the playoffs, probably gonna have to go on the road the second playoff game if you even get through the first one. And I think that's too much pressure. Plus, you're paying Kirk Cousins all that money. Make him earn it. I think they gave him a 3-year deal. So to me, I don't like the timing of it. If they did it 3, 4 weeks ago, then fine. But I think it's bad timing by the Atlanta Falcons here. You don't give him enough time to gel. So I just don't see the need now. If Kirk Cousins played the last 3 games and completely flopped and continued on this trend, then you cut him. You say, hey, look, we paid you $90 million guaranteed. Take it. We'll take the L, but at least we have the future and we can start fresh next year. But I don't understand this timing when you're 1 game back and 3 games left in the season. I don't think you're going to get much from a rookie in 3 games.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think with the Giants, they're playing the Giants next week at home? That's pretty much I think we all think Atlanta's gonna win that game just because we feel like the Giants may be tanking in a sense. So I'm not opposed to what you're saying, but I think they want to see what they can have in Penix going into this draft. A lot of people think this is a loaded draft. We'll have that discussion in a few minutes. But do you think that they're wanting to see what they have with Penix? If he can ride that way, because they got the Giants, Carolina, and they have Washington. Now, Washington's in between there, but Washington's really the only game that they should lose with Kirk Cousins or without Kirk Cousins. That's what should but could lose.
And to be fair, even the Washington game, they would be playing another rookie quarterback.
Right.
But and I get it. They can win, they can beat the Giants and Carolina even with Penix. I just think that he's not going to be that much of an upgrade over Kirk Cousins right now.
Right.
That's all. So I don't like the move right now because of the timing. But hey, maybe they prove me wrong. If anybody cares, the Vegas line went as Falcons favorites from 10-8 after this move for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to say I don't have an issue with it just because I have Kirk Cousins. That's my backup quarterback in the NBS league. And Kirk Cousins has been terrible. Terrible. I'm looking at it right now. He has 1 touchdown, which he threw early in that game last night and 10 turnovers. 10. 1-to-10 ratio? You can't win an NFL like that. And I'm not saying everything's on him because, of course, you got some tip balls. Of course, some receivers run some wrong routes. I get all that. I'm not here to, but at some point you have to have better than 1-to-10 turnover ratio to touchdown ratio. That's crazy. And as far as the games are concerned, I think that they can win these games. I don't know if let's be honest, with Kirk Cousins, the way he's playing, do we really believe that they can make a run in the playoffs? Now, I know we all picked Atlanta to win a division before the season started, but even with Penix or Cousins, the way he's been playing, do we really think that they can make a run in the NFC with all the teams that's 12-2, that's loaded, that it looks like, one of these teams are going to go to the Super Bowl and maybe possibly win the Super Bowl? I don't think so. So right now, I'm not mad at it because at least you get a sample of what Michael Penix looks like in the future. So I'm okay with them benching Kirk Cousins because those numbers are just terrible. 1-to-10 turnover to touchdown ratio is just, you can't have that in the NFL. You can't win like that. You're on mute, Kiel.
I think it's pretty stupid for them to bench Kirk Cousins, though, man. The reason why is you pay him 190 million, 90 million guarantee. You're gonna, if you end up cutting him through, I think, a certain date before the 2025 season, you're gonna have over 68 million of dead money. And who's gonna take this guy's contract if that's the case at all. And it's not like your team is eliminated from the playoffs. You're only one game behind in division right now, so I don't see why there's no reason why you should bench him. I mean, can you say it may be the play selection? Because they only threw the ball 17 times yesterday on that Monday night game compared to 37 times they actually ran the ball. I mean, it's basically what you want to do with this team. People have complained about, hey, Bijan Robinson needs to get the ball more. And then or they say Kirk Cousins is throwing the ball too much. Now that Bijan's getting the ball too much, it gets thrown at Kirk Cousins based off what's happening right now. So I don't think he should have get benched, especially when you're in contention for the playoffs, and then the predicament you're in right now with the last three games. I mean, I understand if it's the last three games, you have no chance of making the playoffs. But when you do, you throw in this rookie quarterback, which is not fair to him. That's a lot of pressure on them. He's saying, hey, go win us some games now. Um, let's see if he can put us in the playoffs and win us the division. That's a lot of pressure for a rookie quarterback. This is a rookie quarterback we're talking about. You're putting all this pressure on him. It's not like you're throwing him in the game in the beginning of the season. You're telling him to win the final three games, which are winnable games against Washington and Carolina and the New York Giants. But at the end of the day, those are NFL professional teams, and no matter which team it is, they will wreak havoc on rookie quarterbacks. Defensive coordinators, they love dealing with these rookie quarterbacks, especially as your very first NFL start.
Hey, but we also don't know what's been going on at practice neither. And I'm not sitting there saying that Penix has been killing it at practice, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Penix could be going crazy behind the scenes, and they're sitting there looking like, we keep starting you, Kirk, but at the same time, why do we still keep starting you? Because we have this rookie that's showing out in practice every day. So I don't know. I don't have an issue with it only because I don't see the Falcons with Kirk Cousins or without Kirk Cousins going far in the playoffs. What up to my brother? He's driving, as y'all can see, and doing the show. He's multitasking.
Trendsetting and whatnot. You know what the deal is.
So what up,
man?
Steve?
Man, let me get in. Let me get some of this, bro. I've been wanting to talk about this. I'm not the type of person that, yes, I am. I'm the type of person to say, I told you so. But I told all of y'all so. I told y'all at the beginning of the season, I said Penix is going to be starting by the end of the season. Y'all all laughed at me. Y'all told me that Kirk Cousins was a stud. Somebody on here had him in the MVP conversation earlier this year. Hey, bro, this is supposed to happen. This was supposed to happen. For one thing, previous to this year, Kirk Cousins has been an all right quarterback. Never has been an elite quarterback. He's been an all right quarterback. This man had an Achilles injury, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would we think that he was going to be able to come back and deserve $100 million contract? He had never been elite. I look at Aaron Rodgers; he was elite. So you can expect him to come back and be worth a bunch of money and lead a team to the playoffs. And look what's happening to him. So when you look at somebody like Kirk Cousins, I don't know. I didn't expect him to be this bad, to be honest with you. But I expected this to happen. I expected him to be benched, and the Falcons go ahead and move on. Do I think it's the right time to do it? I can't say I don't, man. The man has been playing terrible for the last 6 weeks, bro. And kind of like what X said, we don't know what's going on in practice. I heard one of these former NFL players say on one of those shows, he was like, "Hey, man, the players know who should be starting. When everybody having these quarterback controversies, the players know who should be starting. Whether that's who starts or not, the players in the locker room, they know who should be starting at all times. So I think maybe this was a decision that was kind of influenced by the players saying, "Hey man, we need to get a kid a chance, bro, because Kirk throwing us out of the game." And Keo mentioned they only passed 17 times last night to 30 something. You think it's a play calling? Maybe that's because Kirk Cousins has been stinking up the joint. We're not going to let him keep on throwing and end up throwing us out of a game against the Raiders and losing to the Raiders. So of course, man, let's run Bijan Robinson to death. And I really think that Kirk Cousins, he's going to be a backup now. He's going to be an expensive backup. I can't see he's not going to regain. You don't go back to Kirk Cousins after this, right? They play the Giants next, then the Commanders, and then the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the kid, Penix, he probably wins 2 of those games. He wins 2 of those games, goes to the playoffs. They get put out in the first round if they make the playoffs. But you don't go back to Kirk Cousins at the beginning of next year after you started Penix for the last 3 games of the season. So now he's an expensive backup. Y'all wasted your money. And when everybody saw y'all draft Penix, everybody was like, what are they doing? But I guess what they were doing was hedging their bet. They bet all that money on Kirk Cousins. They was like, hey, man, let's spend this money. If it don't work, we got somebody on a rookie contract that can step right in and he can be the future for us. So I actually think that in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the drafting of Penix wasn't a bad move. The signing of Kirk Cousins was a bad move. And it was probably the most Atlanta Falcon thing that they could have ever done. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the timing. And like I said, I just think that they made a bad decision by signing Kirk Cousins to all that money.
Of course, you're not mad at the timing because you now you think even more that your New Orleans Saints is going to win the division now. Of course, you're not mad at the timing, man.
Hey man, we still in it. We still in it.
To Keo and Yvonne's point, though, I will say this: what is a little mind-boggling is they beat the Bucks both times this year. So literally,
Yeah.
all you have to do is have the same record as the Bucks, and they would win the division pretty much. Yeah. So it is a little mind-boggling, but I'm not at practice, so maybe they're seeing something like C said. The players are saying, he's the guy. He's the guy moving forward. We trust him. And at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins, you can't have 10 turnovers in the past few games to 1 touchdown. And the 1 touchdown was against the Raiders, who seem to be taking. I know they played, they tried to fight back at the end, but it just seems that way.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Desmond Ritter wasn't taking last night.
Oh, no, he was trying to win.
He wanted to win that game, boy. And I ain't mad at him. But I mean, yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. I think that this them if they found a way to end up with the same record as the Bucks, that would be good for them. But I don't think that they can do any worse with Penix. I think that they win the same amount of games or lose the same amount of games with Penix as they do Cousins. I believe that if I can get this young boy some reps right now and prepare him for my future, that's what I'm doing. So I think they're making the right decision.
And one last thing before we end off on this. To be fair to Kirk Cousins, let me just put this out. I know y'all might be like, X, why you trying to be fair to that man? He had 10 turnovers, right? But they lost to the Vikings, a team that's 12-2. They lost to the Chargers, who's in the playoffs. The Broncos, who's looking pretty good this year. The Saints was the one loss, but that's a rivalry. At the end of the day, you can lose a rivalry game. So I'm just like sitting there. It ain't the end of the world. Like Kirk Cousins,
I
it
I
ain't
don't
the
think
end of
it's
the world.
I don't think it's the end of the world with Kirk Cousins though, because if he gets cut, a team is going to go after him. Plenty of teams will go after him, and if there's trading involved, I'm pretty sure the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to get some calls for Kirk Cousins.
Like from who? I don't know what team would want him. The
The
Raiders?
New York Jets. Why not?
But,
So I
yeah,
hear
they
Aaron
already
Rodgers ain't going to
got.
be there no more.
They got that. Well, if they're gonna give him some money, they might as well pay Aaron Rodgers to stay. He's still better than Cousins.
I actually agree with that. But there's going to be a team that's looking for a quarterback in the draft that may not get the quarterback that they desire. You can move forward with Kirk Cousins, hopefully, build up that